The first topic from Matt was to discuss Jane's PR about multi-site retries. Are we expecting Jane today? Does anybody know?
No, she's out for the whole week, Thanksgiving week. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Matt, do you want to at least? Oh, is Matt not here either? Not seeing him yet. Okay. So in general, there's a desire to consume this, but we have a little trouble with testing. Sorry about the background noise.
But perhaps we can move this to next week when Matt and Jane are available, perhaps. Yeah.
Sorry, it's still noisy here. I suggest that we just revisit this next week then.
Sounds good.
And next up, I added a link to the user account PR in progress. I went through and broke up a very granular to-do list there. I would love it if anybody wants to help take up some of that work or help with testing or code review. Are there any other topics for discussion though? Welcome, Marcus. Is there anything on your mind?
No, not particularly. I'm in the middle of getting myself set up to test out copy object encryption.
Excellent. I saw the PR for that.
I have a question about the AIO 5.0 pusher. So I wanted to know what ideas you have, you or Adam have about how to test it. I do see that we have the trim logic that uses the AIO completion notifier. So is it something similar that some kind of interface we might have to write for data log push and test, or is there some other way to test this?
I mean, we could try to you could perhaps do something on the cheap where you make a fork of RGW that. Casey, do we have a way to? Casey, we have ways to do the non-blocking. We have ways to take an AAO completion and do the block slash and do the optional yield thing with an AAO completion.
Good question. I know that I had I know that there exists, at least in the Librados ASIO wrappers, that convert AIO completions into optional yield.
If you wanted, you could. If you wanted to test the AIO completion pusher under load, you could do something like change the use of the synchronous push to the AIO completion push, followed immediately by a wait on the AIO completion using the optional yield. and then run that through a heavy workload on one of the Folio machines.
Oh, okay. So what's that, Casey? Libretto's ASIO? I saw a message here.
That was just in response to Adam about the existing Librettos bindings that use AIO completions in the background, but wrap them up with ASIO completions. So
Okay. Yeah.
that's how we
Okay.
get between the Librettos AIO stuff and optional yield.
All right. Okay, I'll try that, Adam. Thank you.
Right. This is for the DirSuggest part? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Okay. So I still think we need to decide how we want to expose like the batching part of that too, instead of just converting the single add entry to async.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. I don't think there's any batching mechanism, but with the pusher at least. So that's something that we need to add on top of it, right?
Well, the pusher can take a vector, and so if we're fine with letting Bylog or DirSuggest do the batching, then we basically just need the async version of push in this case to take the batch of entries from DirSuggest, run them through the same encoding that add entry uses all in one go, and then just pass that off to the async pusher as a batch, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think collecting batches in DirSuggest is fine. The only complicated part is that we're listing several bucket shards, and so we need to track separate batches depending on how they map to data log shards. So I don't know if we want to try to do that in DirSuggest or internally in data log.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to bloat up DirSuggest. Probably we could try and do that in data log.
Okay, yeah, then just a data log interface that takes a vector and shards them into separate vectors for the calls to FIFO.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'll try to come up with some interface that's at least testable, and then we can improve it. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, maybe just start with kind of design ideas on the PR and we can follow up on that.
Sure. Okay. Thanks. That's all I had.
All right, Matt, I see that you joined. We had deferred your discussion until next week. Jane won't be in unless there's anything that you want to summarize today.
No, I think that's perfect. We've already covered it in the past, but I had a chat with Paul about it and you. So yeah, let's do it next week. If it works for everybody else.
Great. Okay, then anything else for today? Let's call it here then. For folks celebrating Thanksgiving, have a happy holiday. See you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.